For this session, we're going to be discussing how to add a table field to a document. So in this example, we're looking at a drilling AFE, and we've been asked to add a list of cross-referenced wells to the document. Each of these wells is going to have a number of different attributes that we need to include, so a table would be the best way to represent this well list. So we've got a space down here for it at the bottom. Now we need to get it into our document. How would we go about doing that? How would we go about getting a table field into our document? We'd start with our configuration menu, where we would be able to look for our AFEs, configure our AFE document here, and then we can look at all of the different fields that we've already got in our document. So if we wanted to, we could see if we've got this already in there, which we don't. So what we want to do is create a new field. So we're going to be selecting a table. The record is important. It's going to go into our custom AFE record. We're going to call it referenced wells, and we can add it right to our drilling tab right away. So create that new field. What we're going to be told here right away is that we require a service restart for this newly created field to become visible. So that's what we're going to do right now, is we can go and restart our execute service, and I'll come right back as soon as that's done. Okay, so now that we've successfully restarted our execute service, we can go back to our configuration screen here, to our field configuration, and we can see we've got our referenced wells field now available. And what we want to do now is essentially add the columns to that table. They will also be fields, but they'll live within our referenced wells field. So what would that look like? We can create a new field here. This one's going to be a UWI. It's going to be the first column in our table. And importantly, we need to add it to the custom referenced wells record now instead of just our custom record. Give that a name, and we can create that new field. And similarly, we'll see that this is queued up and it will require a restart as well. We might want to add a date field for this. Again, adding it to our referenced wells custom record for our last production date. And we can create that new field as well. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this table and restart the service. And when we come back, we can see what that looks like. So I've gone ahead and I've added those additional fields to fill out our columns in our table. And now let's take a look at what it looks like now that I've restarted the service. So we can see back in our AFE document, our referenced wells, there's now a table populated down here. The columns might not be in the exact order that I'm looking for. We can very easily configure those columns. By default, Execute is going to put them in alphabetical order. So we can go ahead and reorder that the way that we like, the way that we've got it in our spreadsheet. And now, how do we populate this table? We're able to do a handful of different things here. So I went ahead and I said edit to edit this document. And now we can add an individual row. Or if you have multiple rows of information that you want to bring in, you can be a little bit more efficient. We can simply copy our table and add rows to our table in our AFE document here. So simply by pasting, we've included our headers. Execute's able to detect those columns. We can then import, and we've got our full data table already filled out. So we've successfully created and populated our referenced wells data table in our AFE document. And this has been how to add a table field to a document. I hope you found this session helpful, and we'll see you guys in the next one.